Hello, I am Estella and I'm 15 years old, and my diagnosis was pretty much throughout my whole life. I've been dealing with chronic pain from tethered cord, and as of recently, actually 2 weeks ago, I had a major surgery in order to fix that up. And I guess today I'm going to be telling you about how art has helped me get through my time at the hospital in previous years and right now. When I was born, I had my first surgery at 3 months old because I had a dermoid cyst in my lower back. And because of that first surgery when I was 3 months old, scar tissue from that first surgery just grabbed onto my spinal cord and I just started growing and growing. But my spinal cord didn't grow because it was being held back by all that scar tissue. So I had another surgery when I was 10 years old, and more scar tissue grew on my tethered cord, my spinal cord from that, and then I continued to grow until 5 years later, now when I'm 15. Spinal cord is kind of like the central powerhouse of all the nerves in your body. It's very crucial to everything. I was having a lot of side effects like chronic headaches all the time, fluctuating headaches. Every time I ate something, it hurt really bad, like a perpetual stomach ache. And I have kind of a complex case, and so that's why I'm really thankful for having the ability to not only be able to draw the way I can, but also find joy in it mostly. I've really been painting ever since I can remember. My dad really facilitated a lot of my artistic skills because he himself is an artist, and he would always kind of give me little tips like what you could do differently here. He showed me how to do shading, and now I think it's really cool that my older brother, who's 4 years older than me, is in college right now. He is doing an art degree, paints all these really cool photos, and he draws really well. I utilized art throughout my time in the hospital as a way to pass the time and also to have an outlet for my creativity. This is a good example of how I express myself in my art. I enjoy drawing people a lot, and I enjoy drawing portraits and faces, and so I found it really fun to sort of experiment with a medium I'm not very comfortable with, which in this case is acrylic. Another thing I drew in the hospital, which it did get paint on it, but is this, because in the hospital you get a lot of presents, and so I get to experiment with charcoal, watercolors, a little bit more acrylic, a lot of pencil, in order to kind of help and just get my mind off of any sort of chronic pain that I had, because it's really hard to deal with and it really does affect your day. But I find that I get so into whatever I'm working on that it all really seems to just get my mind off of it, and it's super relieving and it's super helpful for me. To elaborate a little bit more on this painting, I started painting it in the hospital whenever I was first admitted, like a month ago or something. But I didn't have enough time to paint it because I was leaving that day. So I went home and I took the canvas, painted this in one night, like certain textures, especially glossy, shiny things like the glossy eye makeup and stuff. And I thought it was really fun to kind of study that on a reference, even though I don't normally use references, to just study it and then try and make something fairly accurate. All of the doctors in Cook Children's, all of the volunteers, staff, everybody in Cook Children's deserves like a very big round of applause. And I do have one nurse that I want to shout out in particular. His name is Phil. He worked in the neurosurgery part of the outpatient, and usually he's a night nurse, kind of a theater kid. But he was so fun. I remember I was laying in my bed and my mom's like, look over there, Phil's here. And I sat up with all of my strength and I'm like, Phil, hi. My future goals and plans. This might not sound very conducive to what I am talking about currently, but I do, in the future, full circle, want to become a pediatric neurosurgeon, just like my own doctor. My granddad was a neurosurgeon, my grandmother was a nurse, my other grandma, she's an anesthesiologist. The medical sort of field just kind of runs in our family, predominantly on my dad's side. And I would like to think that art could help me in becoming a neurosurgeon, very hands-on profession, in being very intricate and detailed and meticulous in my work, especially in something as complex and fragile as the brain. That is my future ambition, because I can't imagine anything bringing me more joy than helping people the way I have been helped, and also inspiring people and being able to say to my future patients, like, I know what you're going through, because it's happened to me twice, and that fills me with a lot of confidence and joy. Well, I think that something else could be said that was not forced whatsoever, is kind of expanding my horizons, because my little sister, she's 2 years younger than me, her name is Lily. She inspires me to, like her personality, be a little bit more experimental with what I draw. She inspires sometimes a lot of the things that I choose to draw on occasion. She's in the back right now being very arrogant.